Haste.
What's up guys, it's Haste here, and today I had a burning question that I just wanted to answer, which is, can a MOBA be considered a roguelike? For those of you who maybe aren't familiar with the term MOBA, it stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena, and games that can be classified under it are big name titles like League of Legends or Dota 2. So can these games be considered a roguelike? Well, to answer that, what makes a game a roguelike in the first place? A roguelike can be defined by trusty old Wikipedia as a subgenre of a role-playing video game characterized by a dungeon crawl through procedurally generated levels and permanent death of the player character. So looking back to MOBAs, I don't quite think that they cover all the characteristics of a roguelike definition, but I do think that they share some similarities behind the concept and can be applied in the same way. In a MOBA, you choose a character to play on a single level starting off with nothing. You then progress through the game and collect gold by either defeating enemies or player-controlled units to then purchase items which enhance your character. There's a single objective, which is to defeat the opposing enemy's base, and when the game ends, your character in a sense dies because you lose any progression that was gained during that match. No items will carry over to the next game, and when you start a new one, you start with nothing. When I explain gameplay like that, I can see the roguelike characteristics and might even classify it under roguelike. The only major difference between the two genres is the multiplayer aspect. Most people who play roguelikes are used to a single player experience, and rightfully so. Adding in the multiplayer element creates a new dimension which adds a new objective of teamwork. Most of the time when you play a single player game, there's no distractions to gameplay, and when you fail, you can't blame anyone but yourself. Or maybe the crappy game mechanics which kill you. But in a multiplayer game, you have to hope that the 4 other random people on your team have the same skill level as you, or even higher, to help your team win the game. Not only that, but you have to hope that they have the same mental fortitude to even want to win the game in the first place. In an online world riddled with trolling, games can be easily ruined when a single person does not want to participate, giving you a massive disadvantage. So does a MOBA still sound like a roguelike now? Looking at it from a single player point of view, you could argue that yes indeed, a MOBA has the same characteristics that define a roguelike. But it goes much deeper than that when you take into account the other factors that make a MOBA a MOBA. When a game can be easily lost from player to player interactions rather than game mechanics, then there is a disconnect between the game and community, which is what I think the distinct line is between a MOBA and a single player game. Now don't get me wrong, there are a ton of roguelikes that include multiplayer, and they do it all well. Multiplayer in roguelikes don't hinder the process of your own gameplay, but they only enhance it, which in turn increases the fun. But when a game is based upon player-to-player combat, and that is the core of the game, then you're probably gonna have a bad time considering it only takes one player to ruin it for the rest of them. So, to sum everything up, I think that a MOBA has roguelike qualities but can't be classified solely as a roguelike due to its multiplayer requirements. Alright, thanks guys for watching this video essay that randomly popped into my head. I know this isn't the usual Risk of Rain content that I post, but hey, I enjoyed making something different about video game genres as a whole. And yeah, if you guys like this type of stuff, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Even if I don't get to respond to everyone, I do read all of your comments, so you know, leave something funny, and it really does make my day to see everyone chatting. And thanks for watching, I hope to see you guys in the next one.